Hi, this is Wes from W Farmstead. So I've done a video on how to take off this BH70 backhoe attachment on the B2601. And you can see I've got other videos on how to do that, so you can see them on our channel. But there's the cart that we had created too on another one of our videos. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on ahead and do a short video just, for the kids, for Kingston and Princeton, our grandchildren. If they want to, if they're out there doing this, just a little bit of reference. Now, remember, this is how I do it, okay? So what we'll do is we've got the 3-point hooked up on the back of the B2601 over here. And so what I'll do is I'll show you taking off the 3-point and everything, getting ready, and then we'll take and we'll mount this onto the back of the backhoe and get everything set. So it's just a quick video. This is how I do it. So, you may have some way that's faster, which is great. All I ask is you take what I do and you learn from it. If I make a mistake, just learn from it. So, but let me go on ahead and I'm going to go out here and start up the B2601 and go on ahead and we'll bring it in. Okay. First couple things I do is number one is I make sure the 3 points all the way down. And then what I do is make sure the hydraulic pressure is off. So what I'll do is I'll take and make sure all the hydraulic pressure is basically, all the pressure is relieved on it. So we got the rear here. So here's the backhoe. This is a nice thing about this cart. You see how easy it is to move I think they say it's about 940 pounds, 950. So you would have to actually look online as to how much a BH70 weighs. Okay, but look at this. I'm moving it with one hand. See that? It's awesome, this little cart. It does a great job. So what I need to do is go on ahead and get this QH15 quick attach off of here. Of course, one thing I learned all the time is watch these things. When they snap, they hurt. So this will be coming out. I'm going to put it right. I'll just let it go down like that for right now. And usually I try to keep all the links with my parts. So got this one. Let's go on ahead and pull that out. I'll go on ahead and pull that one out. And then pull the quick attach off. And then like I said, I always put the pins back in it. And then, so that way when I need them later, they're there. So yeah, I know they're heavy. It's heavy. That over there for now. I'll deal with that later. So what I need to do in order to put the backhoe back on is I need to take everything on the 3-point off. So first thing is I take off the top link, which you notice, unless you bring this arm up, you can't pull the pin out. So once that pin's out, you can drop that back in. So you can see right here, it blocks it. So you'll have to lift it up. But I put the pins back in so we have them. Okay. This needs to go into the recycling for garbage, for metal. Okay. Now, usually what I do is I take off the link here. There's several different ways you can do it. I know a lot of people, they've got different ways. They'll take off the bottom first and then the top. It doesn't matter. You do you. Okay. So I take that out. That way it drops that down. And then I take, and of course, drop that on the floor. Then you pick it back up and drop it back on the floor again. And pick it back up. And put it right in that little hole there. And then you got it. Okay. So yeah. So let's see how many times I drop it this time. Okay, are you ready to count that? So here we go. Okay. See if I can keep a hold of it this time. Hey, what do you know? Doing good. Okay, the other thing, whenever I'm not using the 3-point, the PTO on the 3-point, I always put the cover back on. Okay, and keep that cover on. So while the backhoe attachment is on there, it's on there. So since I didn't have the brush hog or something on there that's PTO driven, I had that on there and it stays on. So, okay. All right, so that's down. So generally, like I said, there's several different ways you can do this. There's a little pin here, and somebody had taught me a long time ago. If you notice, there was a washer that came off, but then you have a pin. They said the easiest thing to always do is come up from the bottom, okay, with these pins. So what I did is, if you notice, I put the pin back in right where it came out with the washer, and then I put this pin back in it. And then I come over here, pull that out, and then there's your arm. And then I usually take this pin and I put it back into here so it stays. This is not in the way at all when you go to put your backhoe on. Okay, same thing on this side. Going ahead and grab that washer this time so it doesn't fall out of the way or fall on the floor and I got to chase after it. Yeah. Gotta love email. Did you hear that little notification? Okay. So got the pin, got the washer and everything back in so it stays where it needs to. Pulling up this pin. There we go. Okay, I'm going ahead and put this back in. So right now, there's our two 3-point arms. Okay, I usually keep them over here with everything, so put them right up here. That's an area where I put tractor stuff, such as PTO ends, because I don't like to keep PTO ends out on the implement. As you look out there, I don't know if you can tell with the sun, like what I did is the ends for the two brush hogs, the 4-footer and the 5-footer, I take and I go on ahead and just wrap a tarp around it to keep it dry and pull the other end in here. Because I have had problems where I've kept it hooked up and then you can't get those PTO ends rust up. So you can't adjust them to put them onto the PTO, or you can't move the PTO in and out. So I've had the best luck with doing it like this. So that's kind of a little tip is go on and pull your PTO end out and then cover it up. And when you pull it out, spray it with some kind of lubricant. WD-40. I use something that's not over here. I have put it somewhere else, and I can't remember the name of it. So you guys, that's called old age, but you could use something like WD-40 on it or something like that just to keep it from rusting and stuff. Okay, so now the other thing that I did, I don't know if I mentioned it, because of course I'm getting old and I'm forgetful, but I always take and let the pressure off, okay, of the hydraulics. So the hydraulic pressure is off. Now, when I unhook the backhoe here, if I do the same thing, I try to make sure that with the joysticks and all, that the pressure is relieved before I unhook, because you try to hook up these hydraulic links, and man, I tell you what, if they got pressure behind them, they can be brutal to hook back up. So I also took and put a little strap across the outriggers so that they don't fall down on me, because it will tend to bleed off a little bit. So I did that. Okay, so putting it back in, quick and simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push this back up into here. The idea, these two tabs here, go right into here, this point here, and it'll fall down into there. Okay. Then, before I get it all the way in though, and push it in there, I'm going to take and I'll hook up all the hydraulic lines, push it together. These tabs will come up into here. Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll start the tractor. Now I have the tabs, or I have all the hydraulic lines hooked. Okay. And then what I'll do is I'll lift up, and what it'll do is it'll set these down into this cradle, and then it'll push these connections up into here. Okay. So here's your connections that drop right into here. Okay. Your pins, they stay right here on the backhoe. So let's try this out and let's see if you get a good laugh at me. Okay. So here we go. Trying to see. Okay. See how I'm doing on this side. Got to go to the right just a hair. Okay. Okay. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to pull it straight out just a little to give me a little space. So here is your loop back. Okay. So I take and I pull that. So I'll be hooking into this. So what I do is this. So we got red comes up and over and hooks into red here. So like I said, gotta love the connections. It's kind of awkward to get your fingers in there or your hands. There we go. That one's hooked. Okay. Here's yellow. Pull back and pull right in. Oh my gosh, I love that being so simple. Here's your blue. Okay. And here's the blue here. Take our ends off, pull that down, take that. That's awesome. So if you can get those hydraulic links in that easy, then you you did good. You got everything bled off. The other thing that helps is the temperature outside is a little bit cooler than it was when I unhooked it. So of course, with heat, your hydraulic fluid expands a little bit. So that kind of helped a little bit too. So, okay. Let me go on ahead and let's push this up into here. Let me see how we're doing. Okay. If you look down into here, I've got my pins. They're up in there. Okay. So let me go on ahead and I'll turn the tractor on. Now bear with me, I don't always do the right way. Like I said, wrong way. Okay, now watch. Look down in here. See if you can see the pin. The pin should fall right into the cradle. There you go, and then it lifts up. So if you can get down over there, Tanya, possibly, and look, you should see how the pin's in the cradle. And what I've done here is I basically lifted the backhoe. You can pull it back out. I've lifted the backhoe up in, okay? So now I just take and pull this, okay? And I've got a little hole that's right in here, and I take and I put that pin right through there, okay? So that's in. Now, same thing on this side. There's a little hole. I don't know if you can see where my finger is. There's a hole right there that this piece will go into. So I'm lifting up. Well, it helps if I don't hit the controls while I'm trying to get stuff in. So lift up. I've got this going in, the pin, bring that through and get it into the pin hole. So if you look down through here, you can see how the pin's going through the hole. Okay? If that hydraulic line's out of the way. Okay? Now, bring it up. Now, the backhoe's attached. Okay? And what you have to do this is the worst part of it. I've got a, that is real close to being up against the bottom there. So, lift that up a little. Pull that out. Now bring it back. Okay. We're done. That's all there was. It wasn't that bad. You didn't get to laugh too much at me except for all the pin drops. But then we take this part off. And I just rubbed my nose and I probably got grease on it, so you can laugh at me there too. So, but that's basically it. It's done. Backhoe's back on. Everything's running. See? Everything's doing good. So there you go. Got my pins on this. Doing good right there. So it really takes at most maybe, what, that was maybe 10 minutes. So it's not that bad to get it done. It's really easy to go on. And the one thing I did do is before I took it off, I did grease it. So I greased my the backhoe and everything before I took it off. Okay. Otherwise, if I put it on, then I'd grease it. But I did it before I took off. And I used Tractor Pal and logged it in there that I greased the backhoe for the BH70. But that's pretty much it. It's easy. So, I hope you enjoyed it and got a good laugh. So y'all take care and have a good one.